I read a book about propaganda by the father of propaganda. All because this Australian legend
No mercy for stooges.
told me to. Here's what I learned. It was really cool. We are governed. Our minds are molded. Our tastes are formed. Our ideas suggested by men we have never heard of. We are dominated by the relatively small number of persons who understand the mental processes and social patterns of the masses. In the start of the book, he argues that
people are smart, they can handle it.
A person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it.
and he says, in order not to live in chaos, we have to organize ourselves into thousands of interlacing groups like these. And he says that a group mind is different from an individual one. If we understand the mechanism and motives of the group mind, it is now possible to control and regiment the masses according to our will. How fucking cool is that? The first impulse of a group mind is that it follows a leader. Like, you trust anything that's prestigious. You trust a bank with your money, the best-selling author with your time, and you watch very respected directors and wear respected clothes. Since groups follow leaders, Edward figured out that if you can influence the leaders, you automatically influence the group they sway. And he proves this with an example. Do you ever wonder why everyone eats bacon and eggs for breakfast? Do you think that just happened because we all liked bacon and eggs? Edward was hired by the Beech Nut Packing Company to sell more bacon.
What am I gonna do?
What are you doing? Seriously, what are you doing? What are you...
Oh, perfect. Thanks.
So how did he do it? A bunch of ads? No. He needed to get to the leaders of our diets. Doctors. So he went to a doctor working for his company and he said, "Doc, breakfast. Bigger is better. Right? I guess. Right? I'll have a paper that says that in the morning. And tell 5,000 of your friends." So magazines and newspapers started saying 5,000 doctors say eggs and bacon are good for you. So everyone started eating them. And bacon sales went up. This is where you might object and be like, corporations can't bribe research. Oh, but they can. It's very popular for corporations to fund research to come up with conclusions that conveniently help their business. The saddest example of this today is oil companies like Koch Industries. They would fund a think tank like the Cato Institute or the Heritage Foundation to publish research that stalls action on climate change. Their talking points from those think tanks are then used on Fox News.
Residents in the Pacific Northwest may soon be paying a lot more in taxes to fight a man-made climate change process, which many people say has never been scientifically proven.
We're in a cultural war. Climate change is the new religion.
And then these arguments trickle down to like a web of YouTuber climate denial parrots.
These people can't define climate change. They can't define what's causing it, if it is existing.
The Alan Jones uses the irrefutable cannonball of logic. If some people can't explain what it is, it doesn't exist. They follow cliches. So in the 20s, you could just call someone, "He's a Bolshevik." And everyone's like, "Oh, fuck, kill him, fucking kill him." Today, the most used cliches A bunch of annoying, sensitive, snowflake, SJW, soy boy, communist vegan cucks whose sole purpose in life is to virtue signal about how many gay weddings they've attended.
I don't care about poor people.
Racist, sexist, Islamophobic, anti-LGBTQ.
So the propagandist creates or takes advantage of these cliches. Like this. You'd hear liberals say, "We should save the environment." And that's met with, "Are you gonna listen to a snowflake?" "Yeah, I was gonna listen to a snowflake, but you're right. They're annoying. So fuck the environment." Critical thinking faculties. The search for truth is sacrificed to maintain cohesion in the group, which leaves them very vulnerable to manipulation and very hostile to other groups. Because Edward said, each group considers its own standards ultimate and indisputable, and tends to dismiss all different standards as indefensible. Here's where I'm going to make the cliche, if we all work together, we can kill the rich. One of those points, because what happens is you would just pit these groups against each other, so they're just fighting constantly and they can never build anything or challenge the status quo. If you're a rich person and people are mounting up arguments against you and they're gonna overthrow you, you could just be like, "Oi, see that guy you're fighting with? He doesn't respect your gender identity." And then the guy's like, "How can I fight alongside a person who doesn't recognize my own humanity?" They're arguing forever. The rich guy's like, yeah, that'll give me 20 more years. People resist ads, but they don't resist news. So events are created so they can get reported on in order to put ideas into circulation. And the best form of advertising is by making a controversial event. For example, the Easter 19 parades. Women weren't allowed to smoke outside. And Edward was hired by a tobacco company to start making them smoke. So he created an event where 10 rich, gorgeous debutantes were to smoke outside on the streets. After that happened, the entire country debated about it. So what idea was implanted in every woman's head across the country? We should all be feminists and start smoking. It's fucking Inception. It is literally Inception. Putting ideas in people's heads. Genius. You'll see this everywhere. Artificial scandals are created in order to advertise a product. Edward makes the point that people are actuated by motives which they conceal from themselves. Corporations need to put their finger on the pulse of culture, like a seismograph. Okay, 4 people like anime. 5 people like anime. Start making our shit in Japanese! The heads of the biggest corporations in the world, every public figure, and most of the most influential authors and artists. The thing about living in a democracy is that the people with power can no longer do what they want without the approval of the masses. But that same group of people can and do make the rest of us think whatever they want about any subject. There is an ocean of ideas constantly assaulting you everywhere you look. And most of the people making these waves are just trying to shove your personality into a profitable direction. And if you get swept away by the tide, it's easy to see why powerful people think most of us are just garbage. But the one thing you can do against this tsunami of bullshit ideas is anchor yourself to the ground by becoming a fucking nerd with knowledge. And a way you can get that knowledge is watch Friendlyjordies. Watch him. He's the Moses that can part the waters of bullshit. But I love him, he's great. And thank you. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe, bitch.